Picture this. You're at the helm of your business, steering through choppy waters of decisions, challenges, and triumphs. You look around and realize, man, it's pretty lonely up here. Does that sound familiar? Today, we're tackling a topic that's rarely discussed but universally felt in the entrepreneurial world: the isolation that comes with leadership and the critical need for sisterhood or a tribe at the top. Today, we welcome into the studio Dr. Elizabeth Stroot. Dr. Stroot is the founder of Core Wellness and Physical Therapy, and she brings over 20 years of health and fitness expertise to her practice. With a doctorate in physical therapy, she specializes in orthopedic conditions, particularly neck and back, also headaches and pre and postnatal issues. Her commitment to holistic wellness extends to her personal life, prioritizing fitness, organic nutrition, and family time, and she resides in the DC metro area. We'll dive deep into the unique challenges that women entrepreneurs face as they climb the ladder of success. We'll explore why building a strong network of like-minded women isn't just a nice to have, it's essential for your personal sanity and your business growth. From finding your first entrepreneurial bestie to cultivating a powerful circle of industry leaders, we'll map out strategies for building your tribe at every stage of your journey. We'll discuss how to overcome the competitive mindset, the art of vulnerable leadership, and the power of collective wisdom. Whether you're a solopreneur feeling the weight of isolation or a seasoned CEO looking to strengthen your support network, this episode is your roadmap to building a sisterhood that will uplift, challenge, and champion you. Let's dive in. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I am too, because the topic of tribe building has been on my mind for a long time. And again, it's something that we don't often talk about. We know we have to be in the right circles and everything, but really, is it defined for any of us?
Yeah, it isn't. And truly, I think it's an ever evolving concept. Like, I might have a definition of what that means in this season, but I guarantee you in a month, 3, 6, a year, my needs are going to change and the needs of the people that are in my tribe are going to shift. And so the dynamic it's ever evolving.
It is. Now, do you have a time in your entrepreneurial journey that you felt like this, that you just felt isolated, you felt alone?
Yes, I think it happens quite often, actually. I think particularly when you are navigating the day-to-day needs of a brick and mortar business, you're forward facing with patients, both in a clinician's role, but also in an administrative role. You're navigating relationships with your peers, with your fellow clinicians. So there's a lot of giving of yourself.
Right.
And there's a moment that just sort of, it washes over you and you think, I'm really in this alone. There's no one in this moment that I can just transfer all of my thoughts and feelings to, and they can sort of take the helm,
Right.
and steer my boat for a while. And so the best option is to build those relationships with other like-minded or similar seasoned women.
Very true. Similar seasons, because so many people are at different areas of their journey in entrepreneurship.
Exactly. So I would say even before I had my children, who are about to be 4 and 6, it was a very different dynamic of the women I was wanting to be around to, play ideas off of and just offer support because they could relate to navigating the busyness of the schedule and being pulled in different directions. Right. And then you add motherhood, and
it changes everything. It really does.
Everything. It does.
It does. At what point did you really make the realization that you needed to have a tribe?
Absolutely in 2020.
No, of course.
I think by virtue of I was pregnant in early 2020. My father was diagnosed with cancer. All the impact of the pandemic around the world, super isolating. When you're used to being around people all the time, and all of a sudden everything kind of comes into this very narrowed group of people, limited time with one another because we want to get back to our safe space, all of that. that's when I felt like I needed to consciously make the connections more impactful. Not just like have people on speed dial and people I text, but
Right.
dedicated time to be with particular women.
And our world definitely got smaller during that period, like you say, like everything
Yeah.
kind of just, you were just around a very small group of people, whether it's
Yeah.
who you worked with or it was your family. And
Yeah.
that even made it more polarizing, I feel like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It became clear um, how individuals' boundaries were important to know and acknowledge
Mhm.
and respect them, but then it also perhaps wasn't what you needed at that time. So let's say I have a girlfriend who, um, she and her family, they left the area. They went to another state for a good chunk of that year.
Mhm.
Well, that means she wasn't in proximity for me to have access to her, and that bond was different.
Of course it
So
would be.
yeah, so it just challenged what had become the norm, and we
Mm.
got more creative. We started using apps like Marco Polo, or we used the audio feature on text instead of just putting letters to the screen. It just evolved.
It you're right, it evolved and it changed all of us.
Yes.
It certainly did. Now, you mentioned something about, I think you said the word network or something of that nature. How do you differentiate your true sisterhood or your true tribe of your
Mhm.
entrepreneurs? And I guess it doesn't just need to be entrepreneurs, but how do you determine that in relation to I guess, differentiate between a network of people and a
Yes,
tribe? Because I think they're 2 different things, a network
I would
and
agree. I agree. So the network, I think of, there are not just personal benefits of those connections, there are usually business benefits. There are connections that can be made that benefit someone's professional growth.
Mhm,
The tribe, the tribe just it feels yummy. It feels
mhm,
safe. You can be your most authentic self. You don't hold back certain elements of yourself. And a tribe also in my mind doesn't have to be like, "Oh, I've got this core 4 group of women."
right,
It can be my tribe with this person and this person and this
mhm,
person, but I know who my tribe is.
right,
Versus the network doesn't have that same intimacy to me. It's still very personal. It can even be um, intimate from the standpoint of we're vulnerable on a business level
mhm.
with each other or even in a community level, but this is like the heart is in the tribe. I
That's a
was
good way
actually
to put
telling, yeah, I it just that's where the sisterhood
it. Mhm,
vibe really starts to come alive for me. I was talking to one of my core people just the other day about how I had been asked to go to the gym by a dear friend of mine. She wants to come work out with me. Wonderful. Years ago, I would have been like, that is so great. Like, yes, let's go do that. In this season right now, that is my sanctuary space
mm,
where I need to decompress. And it's not a time when I want to be talking or connecting. I need to be resetting myself.
mhm.
The woman that I was sharing this story with, if she had asked me to work out, it would have been a no-brainer because
Yes or no?
she's part of the tribe that yes. Because it doesn't feel like, I hate to say it doesn't feel like work, but it feels easy, and it feels like there's just as much of an opportunity to give and pour into her as there is to receive her pouring into me.
You don't have to entertain her.
Not at all. It's natural. You don't have to, and
Mm,
it's not work. You don't have to entertain. That's a
right.
perfect way to think about it. Yeah.
But I love how you put it. It also is like, and I know this is gonna sound weird, like a warm, snuggly blanket,
Mm.
a tribe.
Mm. Yes.
You
Yes.
said, it's yummy, it's whatever. It's like you're blanketed in that feeling that you wanna feel and be around those people.
Yes. Yes. As you were saying that, I also there's also this counterpoint of, that opening scene of Wonder Woman where all the Amazonian
Wonder
women.
Woman.
Okay, so in the beginning, there are all these women that are incredibly fit. They're in their like battle gear. That is also a tribe and an element of how I think about the tribe. These are also the women that, like, when stuff is hard, they're ready to rally. They're ready to tell you the hard truth when no one else is going to tell you the hard truth that, like,
You got to
maybe
hear it.
you got to pay attention to this because I see you kind of spinning out. They can just be very real with you. So
Right.
snugly, but also firm, because it all comes from a place of love and admiration for
Tough
each other.
love.
Tough love. We need it
Mhm.
sometimes.
We do more, and we don't realize it all the time. I was literally having this conversation with somebody because I was in a spot where I felt like I knew what direction I needed to go,
Mhm.
but I was letting something hold me back, but I didn't really realize I was letting something or someone hold me back. But somebody else saw that in me and called me out on it.
Mm.
And it was part of my tribe.
Yeah.
And when they called me out on it, I went, sometimes when you say something, you can be thinking it in your head
Yes.
and it makes sense.
Yes.
You verbalize it to somebody who's in your tribe, they poke holes in it and go, repeat that. Do you know how silly that sounds? And that's an aha moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And how did you feel in that moment receiving it from that person?
Validated.
Beautiful.
Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we're all human. We want validation. And we do get
Mhm.
that from our tribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just want to know that we're seen, we're heard, we're understood. And that's what I
Agreed.
think that does for us. Now,
Mm.
how did you go about, or how would you suggest someone who doesn't really know, do I have a tribe? How do I know if I have a tribe? Or no, I don't have a tribe. How do I find a tribe?
Mm. I'm a big fan of journaling. I'm a big fan of putting your thoughts and feelings down on paper as a way to explore that. I think if we just have the self-talk going, or we kind of have somewhat loose conversations with people about, like, well, how do you define that? What does that look like to you, feel like to you? We oftentimes cherry pick other people's
Mhm.
idea of tribe and then make our own little, you know, puzzle of it. But that's not necessarily a genuine reflection of what it is we need.
Such a good point. Yeah.
So it's like, and this is where social media can be great. We can cherry pick ideas, and that's lovely. But just because you see another person that maybe you identify with, you're like, she's my people. And like, she does this. So that probably is going to work for me. We might be missing an opportunity to really dive into what the best version of ourselves would want.
Mhm.
So I like the idea of thinking about ourselves 6 months, 1 year, 5 years down the
Mhm.
road. And I do this two ways. Either we're looking at her, that version of ourselves, and saying, what does her tribe look like? Like, what has she's been working on this? What was important to her?
Mhm.
Is she doubling down on family time? Is she doubling down with, this group or that group, her book club, her whatever makes sense?
Mhm.
And writing down some of the attributes of what is it that I bring to a tribe? What are strengths? What are gifts? What are some unique abilities I have that I would like to bring to other people? So acts of service, being of service to other
Mhm.
people. And then what is it that I could really benefit from receiving? And what kind of dynamic would be necessary for me to feel like I am giving and I feel safe to receive, and I can play into this nice symbiotic
Mhm.
dancey thing that we need to do in the moment. The other fun journaling exercise for me is having that distant version of ourselves send us a postcard.
Yes,
And
definitely.
you visualize, you're writing down, oh, I went to my mailbox and I took the the handful out, and on top was this postcard from, and you see the
Mhm.
picture and what the picture looks like. For me, it's always Italy. It's something European. And it's a like, hey, Elizabeth, it's me. Like, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I smell, what I see, what maybe I just tasted. Here's who I'm with.
Mhm.
And for this topic, it could be, remember when you were thinking about what kind of tribe would really suit you and you would like to be a part of?
Yes.
Here's what that looked like. And so we're kind of changing how we go at it. And I think you get two different answers, but how beautiful is that? Now you have an even bigger net to cast,
Right.
so that as you're moving about the world, you can say, hey, that does resonate with this idea. I should
Mhm.
maybe spend more time in that book club. I really like those women, even though we don't talk about the book.
Right. And I love what you said. I mean, it's all beautiful what you said. Um, because so many times we do look at the comparison stuff. We look at social media, for example, and
Mhm.
we see people in different parts of their lives, not necessarily our part that, where we're at in our lives with their tribe. And like you said, cherry pick, basically regurgitate what they're doing and going, oh, I like this person, what they're doing, this person, what they're, so on and so forth. But it's not
Yeah.
serving us because that's not what we necessarily need. We think we do because we saw it.
Mhm. Yeah.
But journaling
Well,
would be a great idea.
and to your point, like, it is what we need it. Like, we need to be validated and seen.
Mhm.
And I think it's a testament to how disconnected we all can feel at any given moment, that we want it. We want it so bad. We want it now. We want the
Just give it
dopamine
all.
hit and the like, give it all of it, all of it. And I feel like that just makes us keep spinning our wheels, as opposed
Mhm.
to like, just marinate in it a little bit,
Yeah, sit in
marinate
it.
in it,
Yeah.
reflect. How do I feel when I'm with so and so? Who am I with when I feel the most comfortable and confident and whatever? Pick your descriptors.
Right, right.
Who am I with? What am I doing? How do I get more of that?
Mhm. So, an interesting little part of this is as women, a lot and not just women, I mean, in nature, competitiveness,
Ooh.
because women
Mm.
can be very competitive. Not saying that guys
Mhm.
can't, because they can, but sometimes women can be extremely competitive. How do you let's say someone's in your tribe and they start becoming something that you're not about
Mm.
and you're not interested in.
Mhm.
How do you navigate something like that?
Such an important question. Such an important question. In most instances, I'm I am more I'm more competitive with myself than I am with other women.
Mhm.
In business, I am a firm believer there is enough to go around for everybody, and I love the fact that I am not everybody's cup of tea.
Yes.
And for the people where we do have that jive and that whatever, whether it's a client, a patient, a friend, we can just keep it moving. And like,
Mhm.
I want the best for everybody. If it's someone in the inner tribe, I usually have to check myself first, right? It's not so much that like I don't like what they're doing, or like, oh, she's doing that, I need to distance myself. It's like, hang on, why am I having that reaction?
Mm.
Why is that rubbing me the wrong way? Or like, why did that make my ears perk up and now I'm looking at her differently? I need to check myself first. And once I've done that, there's usually a very clear answer. It usually has everything to do with me and nothing to do with her. especially if it is a woman in my like that is like a soul sistery tribe type.
Mhm.
Um, the other potential there is that maybe it's time for our season to take a little bit of a hiatus
Mhm.
relative to that part of life.
Because
And that's
everything
okay
gets
too.
right.
Yeah. I mean, my high school girlfriends, it's amazing to me that like my closest high school girlfriends, I mean, thank God for Facebook, or I would have no idea where they are. But it has been interesting to have relationships evolve with other girls I knew in high
Mhm.
school, also thanks to social media and all these other things, that we now use Marco Polo messaging once or twice a week. So you just don't know when the seasons are going to change.
And I
And
wholeheartedly agree with that because there are people from high school that were a year ahead of me or behind me that I never hung out with, never even thought about. And then you do see them on Facebook and you make a connection. And all of a
yeah,
sudden, those 2 years or that year in high school was huge. Now, as we're older, it
yeah,
doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. And it I think for women, I've always thought that it was very natural to be tribal with other women.
Mhm,
Now I went to an all-girls school from preschool to senior year, so, like, maybe it's kind of conditioned into me also,
mhm,
but, you find a resonant point in another woman and you're like, "Yes!" Like, our tribe has this kind of this what should we call it's like a radius around it, like,
mhm,
we've got the friends that are in, like, this orbit, and then the next orbit in, and then another, and then there's the, like,
mhm.
the the
Nucleus,
sweet
nucleus.
this yes, yes, exactly. But it is fun to make these connections with people that you're like, "Wow, when we were
It is.
18, I mean, you were cool and all, but, like, now you are."
Now you're that all
We're
that and then
sharing recipes, we're sharing playlists. Yeah.
have you had a time where your tribe, or maybe it's ongoing, that your tribe has really changed your business or had a direct impact on your business?
Yes. I immediately think of the tribe of women that work in my practice. When my daughter Zoe was born, I had a somewhat traumatic birth, and she was in children's hospital for a 2-week period of time. And when you are running a business as an individual, you don't have business partners, you don't have a whole crew
Mhm,
of management. I was fortunate enough to not have to have the worry of what's gonna happen while I am heart and soul over here with my baby as she's trying to survive.
mhm,
And I really believe it's because of the rapport and relationship that I built with them leading up to her birth, that it was automatic that
mhm.
they just jumped on it. They were equal parts concerned with me and her and my husband as they were for we're at the we're making everything flow.
Mhm.
I didn't worry for a second. That was my heart's getting goosebumps just thinking
Oh,
about that.
it's
But just
beautiful that it works
it's
like that.
beautiful.
When you can
It's
create
beautiful.
that on the front end, knowing
Yes.
that you have this tribe and you don't have to worry. I mean, I went through something similar when my husband was in the hospital. Didn't
Tell
worry
me.
because I had a tribe. It's my work tribe.
Yes.
It's different than my friend's tribe, but they actually genuinely cared. And it makes the rest of your life easier.
Absolutely. And feeling in it together about something, whether it's work or it can be a variety of other things. I think that puts an ease, and an element of grace on the heart of the entrepreneur, of the business owner,
Mhm.
you know?
Absolutely.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Right. I can hear it. I can hear that song.
Exactly.
What would you suggest to entrepreneurs who are just entering their journey about tribe building?
Keep it real. Keep it real. Like, be true to yourself. Um, sometimes I think we're told we should leverage connections and relationships with certain people because someone else sees the benefit.
Mhm.
Maybe a friend or a mentor is like, you really should connect with so and so
Yes.
because they blah 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 blah. If that feels right, cool, take the hot tip and run with it. But if you're not spending time in self-reflection to be like, am I still being true to like my mission and my why of why I'm starting this business or why I'm writing this book or why I'm doing this podcast? I I think it can very subtly take you off target and off track over time. And it's slow and it doesn't feel like it should be a whole lot. Um, or maybe we justify that it's not such a big deal, but I think you have to keep it real with yourself
Mhm.
and connect with people that from the beginning there's this resonance.
You feel
There's
it.
this resonance. You feel it. Like I think trusting your gut, fortifying that
Mhm.
connection,
Yes.
it has not steered me wrong. I mean, I'm also a woman of faith. I think there's you have to build those muscles
Mhm. I love
of
that.
trusting yourself, and the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And doing it just because someone else told you to, or that was their business model, so I should connect with that person and just use that playbook. It's
Mhm.
not. People are going to know. People are going to sense that, like, and in her playbook, it feels like a franchise,
There you go. Yeah.
and they can be successful. And if that
Mhm.
like gets it done for you, do it. That's great. That's
Mhm.
great. But if you are someone that feels very heart driven, purpose filled, passionate, and like you know what you want to do, and you have to create it so it feels like a bigger hurdle, maybe
Mhm.
you really have to stay. You have to stay dialed in so that you just stay the course, and it grows authentically.
Mhm. I think that's really great advice. Definitely great advice. I have so enjoyed our conversation today. I feel like you're my sister from another mister. Is that or a mom?
Yeah,
I don't know
totally,
that saying.
totally.
What is that saying?
It
You know,
is that. It is
sometimes
that.
there's just a connection.
Yes.
So
Yes. See,
I
we have a tribe now. We have our own little
Mhm.
tribe.
It's our tribe. I so appreciate you being on. If our listeners would like to get a hold of you, how can they do so?
They can go to corewellnessleadership.com. And you can find all the different ways to connect with me on social media or send me an email. Um, I would be I would be very excited to hear from anybody that wants to continue this conversation or start another.
Fabulous. Thank you again.
Thank you.